Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. I know you have a ton of entertainment to choose from on the internet web, and I appreciate you coming here. We're going to go with the quintessential videos of early MTV. MTV videos that are so MTV, you're going to puke. This is my friend Bohus. I've known him since 1989, which is the year on my jacket. This is actually my senior year jacket I could still barely fit into. Let's just get right into it. Number 5, it's a band that a lot of people kind of don't associate too much with MTV. MTV started and they didn't have a lot of videos to play, so pretty much any group that was willing to say, here's our promo video, a lot of bands were from Europe or other places exotic like that, and had promo videos. Actually, this band is from California, called Berlin. You might know them from the Top Gun soundtrack. Take My Breath Away. Take my breath away. It's a beautiful, bow, bow. A lot better than that version, but it's for me. I first saw the band on MTV. The singer Terry Nunn hormones were crazy for me from age like 2 on. So she had two-toned hair.
Of course, your number one choice would be because there was a babe in the band.
I thought it was exotic to have two-toned hair. She had blonde hair and on the tips were just black. It was but the song "No More Words" is my number 5 of my top 5 MTV songs for videos that were so MTV you want to puke. It's a good video. I think they're like having Tommy guns and they're cruising around and they're wanted.
So it's like a mini movie.
Yeah, it's like a mini. Yeah, it's one of the first like mini movie kind of things. And she's singing and she's so pretty and I wanted to marry her. And
those are all very good reasons.
Good. Berlin.
So okay. So I went a different direction because MTV eventually became, not at first, actually if you look on YouTube you can find a clip of the first 2 hours of MTV ever, right? When they were
check that out.
Just coming out of New York, and it was really mellow. It was really not very exciting. They were very much into like the, hey man, we're here to give you some good music. You're going to see your favorite music for the first time.
Coming up, men at work.
But I was thinking of just a little bit later with my 5th pick, Duran Duran, Girls on Film, because that's a point at which, if you were a band, you had to be on MTV. You couldn't just be on the radio. And Duran Duran were like so determined that they had a whole like fashion statement going. Like these were all cute guys with really cutting edge clothes, and that music
English
video,
accents.
That video didn't look like anything we'd really seen before. Like it's not like a mini movie.
And
it's not like a live.
Till, I think after 8 p.m. if you stayed up, you could see the boob version of the video.
It has as much to do with fashion as it does music, and so like the fusion of those two things made me pick Duran Duran for my list.
It's got a girl hopping on a hobby horse. Number 4, now when a lot of people think of early MTV, of course we're talking the early 80s, you think of 80s bands, I'm thinking of 1983, FLOCK of Seagulls. Of course, Iran's the big song from them, but I went with the album after that, Wishing. It's a great video. They're in outer space.
I've never seen this video.
They're in space for no reason whatsoever, which was the theme, I think, of a lot of 80s MTV videos. Hey, let's bring people to space, because obviously the 80s were in the future. Now we're 2021 and I still don't have my jetpack.
Well, it's funny because like when I think of Iran, the song, not the country, is I think of like that video is really cheap because like when MTV hit, then record companies didn't have budgets for music videos. No. They weren't really important. So Iran is really funny because if you look at it, it's just a guy sitting in a room. There's a camera on a tripod with like foil wrapped around it, and they're just a bunch of mirrors.
He's got his I believe it's 2 fingers. He's got 2 fingers on the keyboard holding that.
And that's the song.
And he's like, if he can do that, I can be a rock star too.
Let's mention that I watched this 2-hour clip of MTV's first 2 hours, and in that 2 hours they had my number 4 pick as like the 10th song they ever played. Oh, nice. It was Phil Collins in The Air Tonight, which was that adult, sophisticated, not like teeny bopper music, and it wasn't like high fashion, but it was like sophisticated.
He was safe,
right?
Yeah.
Well, it was like a little bit of an art film, right? You're like looking down a long hallway. And I went to film school, and like one of the films you make in film school is the long hallway film, and so we had that. We had some like visual effects on his face and things like that. So again, it's not something we've really seen on like regular TV before. And so it was stylish, and that song was just everywhere in the 80s. And of course, Phil Collins was about to own the entire 1980s. In 1981, that song came out, and we weren't ever going to hear the end of it well into the 90s with him.
And as a drummer, Phil Collins amazing drummer. A lot of people just think of he's a bald guy that sings sappy songs who used to be in Genesis, but he actually is an amazing drummer. And of course that iconic fill. All right, so for number 3, I go back to 1980.
We go back to 1980.
1982, and it's off of a movie soundtrack. The movie Valley Girl for me changed everything, because up till then I was like classic rock or early heavy metal kind of stuff, and this showed me like the new wave punk kind of edgy stuff in Valley Girl, because he was like a punker from the other side of the tracks. And the Psychedelic Furs were a band down there, and the song is Love My Way, and it just turned me on to that whole kind of scene of music. The Plimsolls were also on the soundtrack, but
so was the video just like clips from the movie? I don't remember seeing this video.
I don't know if the movie had come out, because I think the song was on a record before the movie. So
because that was like such a movie soundtrack thing to do, where you basically
would
do
show scenes
clips from the movie.
I want to say there's not, or who knows, they could have 2 versions of the video, but I think it's just the group. The group looked good. They looked English. You know, I don't know what, we just liked English. But for like classic rock in the 70s, we like English. Early MTV, we liked England's such a little place, but yet we loved the people from there.
Okay, so I'm going to go, my next pick's a British band too. So at my number 3 of bands that are so MTV it hurts, or you're going to puke, excuse me, is New Order with their song True Faith. So New Order is known for like a handful of songs that are just like standard on any dance floor. And they went from being Joy Division, a kind of downer band, to being New Order, this like really up dance band. And like...
Well, that was after the singer killed himself. Like, so that...
Real buzzkill, yeah.
Sad, yeah.
So
not always fun.
But like that band, when they decided to form that band, they said like, we're going to be like a fashion and design band. In addition to the music, we're going to do all this stuff. Like all their packaging is very designy, very published. Like it looks like really high-end publishing. But the music videos are like these weird art films. And True Faith, it's one of those songs, you probably don't recognize the song from the name, because the names almost never have anything to do with the song. But the video is just weird for the sake of being weird. It has some like funny moments in it too. But it is like an abstract art piece that you'd normally have to go to a museum to see. But here it is on MTV, which I think shows like the crazy variety you'd get on MTV. You'd get some like hard rock act doing like a performance at an amphitheater, followed by like an art film thing. So I loved that video because it was just so strange.
Yeah, I think early MTV, it's a weird concept because people think, oh, MTV, I heard they used to play music videos. Well, we were around when they came out, and it was this thing, this channels.
It was a video jukebox.
Music videos all day long. So you go from Sheila E. to Ozzy Osbourne. It was just insane to think that you could turn it on, because up until then, you'd watch the show like Solid Gold or any other show, they may show one music video.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Thing to show. After this, stay tuned to the last second of this show. We're going to show a clip from a music video. And now you have this channel that's just going to play all music videos. Everyone in school was talking about it. It was huge. So 1983 has my number 2 pick. And again, it's a band that people really haven't heard of that much. It's not like a group that had a big career. It's an MTV type band. It's so MTV, you're sick, you're puking, whatever you're doing. Naked Eyes, always something there to remind me.
Not exactly a deep cut.
It's actually a cover song. It's got a video of them, and they're hanging around a church or something like that. But to me, it was a song that was always something there to remind me of a girl. Number 2, Naked Eyes.
Another one, my number 2 is also like a really popular, well-known video. It's DEVO doing the song "Whip It."
One of my favorite bands.
And that's like again, if you were looking at like an ad for the 80s, they're going to have like Devo's little ziggurat hat, that stair-steppy hat, and that comes from the Whip It video. Now Devo was like way ahead with making music videos, because they actually came out of Kent State in the 70s, and they were making like short films to accompany their band performances. And so they were doing this in the 70s, right? And they were doing like all kinds of abstract, and again, you can tell I'm kind of down this art path. But they would do like weirdo movies that were like weirdly funny and weirdly strange. And so when MTV came along, they were already doing this for a number of years. So putting together Whip It for their song was a walk in the park for these guys. But like it was hugely controversial because it was suggesting whipping. Even though if you watch the video, it's all ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid.
You know.
And it's actually off their third album, so for sure check out their first 3 albums. And for me, it was the first video where you're not looking at these older English dudes that were perfect and perfect job. It was like you're looking at your nerdy friends that you hang out with.
That's really
who are
true.
wearing red flower.
That's
pots
really
on their
true.
heads.
Like,
it's like they could do it. I could do it.
I totally got that DIY sense out of that.
Why
You're
can't
right.
I whip it?
You're right. Because like with Duran Duran, no way were you going to be Duran Duran. But like
they're on some exotic island, and
you're right. You're right. Like with DEVO, they just had that DIY kind of punk idea of like, hey, you know what? If you run into a problem, you just gotta whip it.
Just whip it. And whip it good. Don't half-ass whip it. Whip it good. What's number 1? What are you going to puke out MTV when you think of this song? The Midnight Runners. They're not running at 10 p.m. or 11:30.
It's Dexy's Midnight Runners.
And he...
You keep blowing it. It's Dexy's Midnight Runners.
His name's Kevin. But him and his friends from the town of Dexy, they're running at midnight. And they're going to come on Eileen.
I'm wrong. I'm trying to patch over this. Don't edit a frame of this. Do not edit out a frame of this. I remember this video, and it captures like this is a joy song, right? Like it can totally alter your mood from a bad day to a great day because these guys are. I don't know. It's like a choral kind of up kind of song.
And I think the
video really captures that.
The lead girl. I think there's 2 girls. He's trying to impress the girl, and I think she's wearing overalls without a shirt.
That's him. He's wearing overalls with no shirt on. That's a dude.
Boob.
It's
a
dude.
Side boob in the video. And it's like a grade
in the
school
comments,
kid.
would you please tell Brian that that's a dude?
No, the girl in the as a grade school kid, side boob, 80s side boob. Are you kidding me?
So okay, my number 1 is Talking Heads. I was really split here, right? Because there's what I like and there's what I think the rest of the world likes. So when everybody thinks of Talking Heads, I think they think of the once-in-a-lifetime music video that has David Byrne in the big suit and he's doing his weird move and there are like copies of him in the background. It's like this 80s video art. You know, again, we're seeing these crazy video effects we've never seen before. Another video that's from the same album called Cross-Eyed and Painless. And that one is just shot, it's shot on the streets of New York, so it's 1980, streets of New York, and there are these incredible pop lockers doing like sort of a West Side Story kind of. I really love the story that they're telling, and it is unusual, and it's great to capture that early era of breakdancing and pop.
Yeah, it's weird because now it's seen as such a 80s thing, but believe it or not, kids, if any kids are watching this, the whole breakdancing, pop lock, spinning on your back, throwing down a piece of cardboard, and see how many times. When that first came out, and as something that was new, it was huge, it was weird.
You see these moves, you just don't think a body can do that. And so, while I think Once in a Lifetime gets a lot of juice for being this like emblem of the 80s, I kind of wish it were Cross-Eyed and Painless because there's this cool cultural moment that they captured in there. And it's just an awesome song.
One video that would encompass the whole early MTV weird video, what would be that one video? Because to me, I'm not even sure, because my number 1 pick was Come On Eileen, but it really doesn't have that special weird effects. Like you said, Flock of Seagulls I ran with the tin foil being, I think that could squeak in there as the one video to check out.
Squeak in.
To get you an early feel of what early MTV and what early videos were.
We've each thrown down our list of 5. Maybe it's time for those of you watching to add your choice down below. Like, what did we forget? What is a video that is just so emblematic, so symbolic? These are words I learned in art school. Symbolic of MTV. What should we have named among our top 5? Why don't you list them down below in the comments?
Well, hey, thank you for coming over to my little abode here and talking about the 80s. Thanks for me for still being able to squeeze into my high school 80s
You're
jacket.
thanking your own self for fitting into your own jacket.
As always, like to thank you for watching.